Hello and welcome. Today we will talk about the Renaissance. Let's start. Enjoy watching. The Renaissance, rebirth of art, culture, and knowledge. Introduction, the dawn of the Renaissance. The Renaissance, spanning from the 14th to the 17th century, was a period of profound cultural, artistic, and intellectual revival in Europe. This era marked the transition from the Middle Ages to the modern world and is often referred to as the rebirth of classical learning and values. Originating in Italy and spreading across Europe, the Renaissance had far-reaching effects, influencing various aspects of society and laying the foundation for many developments in art, science, and philosophy. Economic and social conditions. The Renaissance began in a context of significant social and economic changes. The Black Death, which swept through Europe in the mid-14th century, had decimated the population, leading to labor shortages and shifts in economic power. The dramatic reduction in population resulted in a surplus of food and resources, allowing for economic growth and the rise of a wealthy merchant class. These merchants, particularly in cities like Florence, Venice, and Milan, became patrons of the arts, playing a crucial role in financing the cultural revival. Trade and commerce flourished during this period, connecting Europe with the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. The influx of wealth from trade enabled the funding of artistic and intellectual pursuits. The rise of powerful city-states and the decline of feudalism created an environment where new ideas and innovations could thrive. The increasing power and influence of these city-states provided the political stability necessary for cultural and intellectual activities to flourish. The influence of classical antiquity. Central to the Renaissance was a renewed interest in the classical antiquity of ancient Greece and Rome. Scholars and artists looked back to the classical period for inspiration, seeking to revive and emulate the achievements of the past. This revival of classical learning was characterized by the study of ancient texts, the exploration of classical art and architecture, and the application of classical principles to contemporary works. Humanism, an intellectual movement that emphasized the study of classical texts and the value of human achievement, was at the heart of the Renaissance. Humanist scholars believed that the wisdom and beauty of ancient Greek and Roman literature, philosophy, and art could provide valuable lessons for the present. They sought to reconcile classical learning with Christian thought, creating a synthesis that would shape the intellectual landscape of the period. Key figures and centers of the Renaissance. The Renaissance was marked by the contributions of numerous influential figures who played pivotal roles in shaping the cultural and intellectual landscape of the period. In Italy, the city of Florence emerged as a major center of Renaissance activity, largely due to the patronage of the Medici family. Cosimo de' Medici, and later his grandson Lorenzo de' Medici, were instrumental in supporting artists, scholars, and thinkers, fostering an environment where creativity and innovation could thrive. Other key figures included Petrarch, often referred to as the father of humanism, who promoted the study of classical texts and the value of individual achievement. Giovanni Boccaccio, another prominent humanist, is known for his literary works, including the Decameron, which provided a vivid depiction of contemporary life and human experiences. In the realm of art, figures such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo Buonarroti, and Raphael Sanzio emerged as true masters, creating works that continue to be celebrated for their beauty, technical skill, and innovative approaches. These artists pushed the boundaries of artistic expression, exploring new techniques and perspectives that revolutionized the visual arts. Technological innovations and the printing press. One of the most significant technological innovations of the Renaissance was the invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century. The printing press revolutionized the production and dissemination of books, making written works more accessible and affordable. This technological breakthrough facilitated the spread of knowledge and ideas, contributing to the rapid growth of literacy and education. The availability of printed books allowed humanist scholars to share their works more widely, promoting the values of the Renaissance across Europe. The printing press also played a crucial role in the dissemination of scientific discoveries, religious texts, and political ideas, shaping the intellectual landscape of the period. The increased accessibility of books and printed materials democratized knowledge, allowing a broader audience to engage with new ideas and developments. Cultural and artistic revival. The Renaissance was a period of remarkable cultural and artistic revival. Artists, architects, and writers drew inspiration from classical antiquity, seeking to create works that reflected the beauty, harmony, and balance of ancient Greek and Roman art. This revival was characterized by the use of perspective, proportion, and realistic depictions of the human form, setting new standards for artistic excellence. In addition to visual arts, the Renaissance also saw significant developments in literature and music. Writers such as Dante Alighieri, Geoffrey Chaucer, and William Shakespeare produced works that continue to be celebrated for their literary merit and insights into the human condition. The development of polyphonic music, characterized by the use of multiple independent melodies, added new dimensions to musical composition and performance. Conclusion: setting the stage for a new era. The Renaissance was a transformative period that set the stage for the modern era. It was a time of profound change and innovation, marked by a renewed interest in classical learning, significant technological advancements, and remarkable achievements in art and culture. The ideas and values of the Renaissance had a lasting impact on European society, influencing various aspects of life and laying the foundation for many developments in art, science, and philosophy. As we delve deeper into the key developments and impacts of the Renaissance, we will explore the flourishing of art and architecture, the scientific revolution, and the intellectual advancements that define this remarkable period. The Renaissance remains a testament to the power of human creativity and the enduring legacy of classical antiquity, reminding us of the transformative potential of cultural and intellectual revival. The flourishing of art and architecture. The Renaissance was an era of extraordinary artistic achievement, characterized by a renewed interest in the classical ideals of beauty, harmony, and proportion. Artists and architects of the Renaissance sought to revive and emulate the art and architecture of ancient Greece and Rome, creating works that reflected these classical principles while incorporating innovative techniques and perspectives. The mastery of perspective and realism. One of the defining features of Renaissance art was the mastery of perspective and realism. Artists sought to create more naturalistic and three-dimensional representations of the world, departing from the more stylized and symbolic art of the Middle Ages. The development and use of linear perspective allowed artists to accurately depict space and depth in their works, creating a sense of realism and immersion. Filippo Brunelleschi, a pioneering architect and artist, is credited with developing the principles of linear perspective. His work laid the foundation for subsequent artists to create more realistic and proportionate representations. Leon Battista Alberti, another key figure, wrote extensively on the use of perspective in art, further disseminating these techniques and principles. Artists also study human anatomy to achieve greater realism in their depictions of the human figure. This focus on anatomical accuracy is evident in the works of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo Buonarroti, and Raphael Sanzio, who created some of the most iconic and lifelike representations of the human form in art history. Leonardo's detailed anatomical sketches and studies of the human body exemplify the Renaissance interest in science and naturalism. The Renaissance masters. Several artists emerged as true masters during the Renaissance, creating works that continue to be celebrated for their beauty, technical skill, and innovative approaches. These artists pushed the boundaries of artistic expression, exploring new techniques and perspectives that revolutionized the visual arts. Leonardo da Vinci, known for his diverse talents as an artist, scientist, and inventor, Leonardo da Vinci created masterpieces such as The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. His works are characterized by their intricate detail, realistic portrayal of human emotions, and use of sfumato, a technique of blending colors and tones to create a soft, smoky effect. Leonardo's detailed studies of anatomy, nature, and engineering exemplify the Renaissance spirit of inquiry and exploration. Michelangelo Buonarroti, another towering figure of the Renaissance, Michelangelo is renowned for his sculptures David and Pieta, as well as his monumental frescoes on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo's work reflects his deep understanding of the human form and his ability to convey emotion and movement through his art. His contributions to sculpture, painting, and architecture had a profound impact on the art world and set new standards for artistic excellence. Raphael Sanzio, known for his harmonious compositions and graceful figures, Raphael created works such as the School of Athens and numerous Madonna paintings. Raphael's art embodies the ideals of beauty, balance, and classical harmony that were central to the Renaissance aesthetic. His ability to capture the serene and idealized beauty of his subjects made his works highly influential and admired. Innovations in architecture. Renaissance architecture saw significant innovations characterized by a revival of classical styles and principles. Architects looked to ancient Roman buildings for inspiration, emphasizing symmetry, proportion, and the use of columns, arches, and domes. These architectural elements became hallmarks of Renaissance architecture, reflecting the classical ideals of order and harmony. Filippo Brunelleschi's design of the dome for the Florence Cathedral, Il Duomo, is a masterpiece of engineering and architectural innovation. His use of a double-shell structure and herringbone brick pattern allowed for the construction of a massive dome without the need for extensive scaffolding, setting new standards in architectural design. Brunelleschi's work on the dome demonstrated the potential for combining classical principles with innovative techniques to achieve monumental and awe-inspiring structures. Leon Battista Alberti's works, including the facade of Santa Maria Novella in Florence, exemplify the application of classical principles to Renaissance architecture. His writings on architecture, such as De Reedificatoria, provided a theoretical foundation for the practice of architecture during the Renaissance and beyond. Alberti's emphasis on proportion, symmetry, and the use of classical elements influenced the design of many Renaissance buildings and established a framework for architectural excellence. Andrea Palladio's architectural designs and treatises, such as I Quattro Libri dell'Architettura, the 4 books of architecture, had a lasting impact on Renaissance and subsequent architectural styles. Palladio's emphasis on the harmonious proportions and classical elements of ancient Roman architecture influenced the design of villas, palaces, and public buildings throughout Europe. His works, such as the Villa Rotunda and the Church of San Giorgio Maggiore, exemplify the integration of classical principles with Renaissance innovation. The role of patronage. The flourishing of art and architecture during the Renaissance was made possible by the patronage of wealthy individuals and institutions. Patrons provided financial support and commissions for artists, enabling them to create their masterpieces. The Medici family in Florence, the Sforza family in Milan, and the papacy in Rome were among the most prominent patrons of the arts. The Medici family, particularly Cosimo de' Medici and Lorenzo de' Medici, played a crucial role in supporting artists, scholars, and thinkers. Their patronage fostered an environment where creativity and innovation could thrive. The Medici's financial support and political influence enabled the construction of public buildings, churches, and monuments, reflecting their desire to demonstrate their wealth, power, and cultural sophistication. The papacy, the popes of the Renaissance, such as Julius II and Leo X, were significant patrons of the arts. Their support for artists like Michelangelo, Raphael, and Bramante led to the creation of some of the most iconic works of the period. The construction of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and the decoration of the Sistine Chapel are testaments to the papacy's commitment to the arts and its influence on Renaissance culture. Public commissions and civic pride. Patronage extended beyond individual artists to include the construction of public buildings, churches, and monuments. City-states and municipalities commissioned works that reflected their civic pride and cultural aspirations. Public commissions provided opportunities for artists to showcase their talents and contribute to the beautification and cultural identity of their cities. The impact on European art and architecture. The artistic and architectural achievements of the Renaissance had a profound impact on European art and architecture. The techniques and principles developed during this period influenced subsequent artistic movements and styles, shaping the visual culture of Europe for centuries to come. The spread of Renaissance ideas. The dissemination of Renaissance ideas and techniques across Europe was facilitated by the movement of artists, the circulation of printed works, and the patronage of influential figures. Northern Europe, in particular, saw the emergence of a distinct Northern Renaissance characterized by its own artistic innovations and styles. Artists like Albrecht Dürer and Jan van Eyck incorporated the principles of Italian Renaissance art while adding their unique regional elements. The legacy of Renaissance art. The legacy of Renaissance art and architecture is evident in the continued admiration and study of its masterpieces. The works of Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and other Renaissance artists remain central to art history and continue to inspire contemporary artists and architects. The Renaissance emphasis on classical principles, humanism, and innovation set the foundation for the development of modern Western art and architecture. Conclusion: the Renaissance as a cultural golden age. The flourishing of art and architecture during the Renaissance represents a cultural golden age that transformed European society. The revival of classical ideals, the mastery of new techniques, and the patronage of influential figures created an environment where creativity and innovation could thrive. The achievements of Renaissance artists and architects continue to be celebrated for their beauty, technical skill, and lasting impact on the visual arts. As we explore the scientific revolution and intellectual advancements of the Renaissance in the next sections, we will see how the spirit of inquiry and exploration extended beyond the arts to shape the fields of science, medicine, and philosophy. The Renaissance remains a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and the transformative potential of cultural revival. The scientific revolution and intellectual advancements. The Renaissance was not only a period of artistic flourishing but also a time of significant advancements in science, medicine, and intellectual thought. This era laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution, a period marked by groundbreaking discoveries and a new approach to understanding the natural world. The emphasis on observation, experimentation, and questioning traditional beliefs challenged medieval views and set the stage for modern science. The birth of modern science. One of the most significant developments during the Renaissance was the birth of modern science. The Renaissance emphasis on empirical observation and experimentation led to a systematic approach to studying the natural world. This new scientific method, characterized by careful observation, measurement, and the formulation of hypotheses, revolutionized the study of nature and laid the foundation for future scientific inquiry. Nicolaus Copernicus. A pivotal figure in the birth of modern science was Nicolaus Copernicus, a Polish astronomer who proposed the heliocentric theory. His work De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, published in 1543, argued that the Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun. This theory challenged the long-held geocentric model, which placed the Earth at the center of the universe. Copernicus' heliocentric theory marked a significant shift in scientific thought and paved the way for future astronomical discoveries. Galileo Galilei. Building on Copernicus' work, Galileo Galilei made significant contributions to the fields of astronomy, physics, and mathematics. Through his use of the telescope, Galileo observed celestial bodies such as the moons of Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the craters of the moon. His observations provided strong evidence supporting the heliocentric theory. Galileo's work, including his book Sidereus Nuncius, Starry Messenger, revolutionized the understanding of the universe and challenged the authority of the Church in matters of science. His advocacy for the scientific method and empirical observation laid the foundation for modern scientific inquiry. Johannes Kepler. Another key figure was Johannes Kepler, a German astronomer who formulated the laws of planetary motion. Kepler's work, based on meticulous observations and mathematical calculations, demonstrated that planets move in elliptical orbits around the Sun. His laws of planetary motion provided a comprehensive and accurate description of planetary behavior, further validating the heliocentric model. Kepler's contributions to astronomy and his use of mathematical principles to understand natural phenomena exemplify the Renaissance spirit of scientific inquiry. Advancements in medicine and anatomy. The Renaissance also saw significant advancements in the fields of medicine and anatomy. The emphasis on empirical observation and direct study of the human body led to a more accurate understanding of anatomy and physiology. Andreas Vesalius, a pioneering figure in Renaissance medicine, was Andreas Vesalius, a Flemish anatomist and physician. His groundbreaking work De Humani Corporis Fabrica, on the fabric of the human body, published in 1543, provided detailed and accurate descriptions of human anatomy based on dissections. Vesalius challenged the traditional teachings of Galen, an ancient Greek physician, and emphasized the importance of direct observation and hands-on study in medical practice. His contributions to anatomy and medicine had a lasting impact on the field and laid the groundwork for modern medical science. William Harvey. Another important figure was William Harvey, an English physician who made significant contributions to the understanding of the circulatory system. In his work De Motu Cordis, on the motion of the heart and blood, published in 1628, Harvey demonstrated that blood circulates continuously through the body, pumped by the heart. His discoveries revolutionized the understanding of human physiology and marked a significant advancement in medical knowledge. Leonardo da Vinci's scientific inquiries. Leonardo da Vinci, known primarily as an artist, was also a prolific scientist and inventor. His notebooks contain detailed studies of anatomy, physiology, botany, engineering, and physics. Leonardo's curiosity and interdisciplinary approach exemplify the Renaissance spirit of exploration and innovation. Anatomical studies. Leonardo's anatomical drawings, based on dissections of human bodies, provided some of the most accurate depictions of the human form of his time. His detailed studies of muscles, bones, and organs contributed to a better understanding of human anatomy and physiology. Leonardo's work bridged the gap between art and science, demonstrating the interconnectedness of these disciplines. Engineering and inventions. Leonardo's designs for machines, such as flying devices, military weapons, and hydraulic systems, showcased his inventive genius and his ability to apply scientific principles to practical problems. His sketches and models for devices such as the helicopter, parachute, and armored vehicle highlight his innovative thinking and his contributions to the fields of engineering and technology. Humanism and the study of the humanities. The intellectual advancements of the Renaissance were closely linked to the humanist movement, which emphasized the study of the humanities, literature, history, philosophy, and the arts. Humanist scholars sought to revive the classical learning of ancient Greece and Rome and to apply its principles to contemporary life. Petrarch, often called the father of humanism, Petrarch promoted the study of classical texts and the value of individual achievement. His works, including his collection of sonnets canzoniere, reflect his admiration for classical literature and his belief in the importance of personal expression and intellectual exploration. Petrarch's emphasis on the study of the classics laid the foundation for the humanist movement and its influence on Renaissance thought. Erasmus, Desiderius Erasmus, a Dutch humanist, was a leading figure in the intellectual life of the Renaissance. His works, such as In Praise of Folly and his critical editions of the New Testament, combined classical learning with a call for religious and social reform. Erasmus' emphasis on education, critical thinking, and the study of classical texts influenced scholars and thinkers throughout Europe. Thomas More, an English humanist and statesman. Thomas More is best known for his work Utopia, a fictional account of an ideal society based on reason and justice. More's writings reflect the humanist values of education, social reform, and the pursuit of knowledge. His contributions to literature and political thought had a lasting impact on Renaissance intellectual life. The impact on education and learning. The Renaissance emphasis on humanism and the study of classical texts transformed education and learning. The establishment of humanist schools and universities promoted the study of the humanities and the development of well-rounded individuals. The curriculum of Renaissance education included grammar, rhetoric, poetry, history, and moral philosophy, reflecting the classical ideal of a broad and balanced education. The spread of humanist ideas. The dissemination of humanist ideas and texts was facilitated by the printing press, which made books more accessible and affordable. The increased availability of printed materials allowed humanist scholars to share their works more widely, promoting the values of the Renaissance across Europe. The spread of humanist ideas contributed to the intellectual and cultural revival of the period, influencing various aspects of society and thought. Conclusion: the intellectual legacy of the Renaissance. The scientific and intellectual advancements of the Renaissance had a profound impact on European thought and culture. The emphasis on observation, experimentation, and critical thinking challenged traditional beliefs and set the stage for the scientific revolution. The contributions of figures like Copernicus, Galileo, and Vesalius transformed the understanding of the natural world and laid the foundation for modern science. The humanist movement, with its focus on the study of classical texts and the value of individual achievement, shaped the intellectual landscape of the Renaissance and beyond. The Renaissance remains a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity, creativity, and the pursuit of knowledge. As we explore the social and economic impact of the Renaissance in the next section, we will see how these intellectual advancements influence various aspects of life and contributed to the transformation of European society. Social and economic impact of the Renaissance. The Renaissance was a period of profound social and economic transformation, marked by significant changes in the way people lived, worked, and thought. These changes had far-reaching effects on European society, influencing various aspects of life and laying the groundwork for the modern world. Urbanization and the rise of city-states. One of the most significant social changes during the Renaissance was the rise of city-states and the growth of urban centers. Cities such as Florence, Venice, Milan, and Rome became major hubs of commerce, culture, and political power. The increasing wealth and influence of these city-states provided the political stability and economic resources necessary for the cultural and intellectual activities of the Renaissance to flourish. Florence, often considered the cradle of the Renaissance, was a major center of art, culture, and commerce. The city's wealth was largely derived from the banking and textile industries, which were dominated by influential families such as the Medici. The Medici family played a crucial role in supporting artists, scholars, and thinkers, fostering an environment where creativity and innovation could thrive. Venice was another major center of the Renaissance, known for its strategic location and control of trade routes. The city's wealth and power were based on its maritime trade and commerce, which connected Europe with the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Venice's prosperity enabled the patronage of the arts and the construction of grand architectural works, reflecting the city's cultural and economic significance. Economic changes and the rise of the merchant class. The Renaissance saw significant economic changes, including the rise of a wealthy and influential merchant class. This new social class played a crucial role in shaping the cultural and economic landscape of the period. The growth of trade and commerce. The expansion of trade and commerce during the Renaissance led to increased wealth and economic prosperity. The development of new trade routes and the establishment of commercial networks connected Europe with distant regions, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. The influx of wealth from trade enabled the funding of artistic and intellectual pursuits, contributing to the cultural revival of the Renaissance. The role of merchants. The rise of the merchant class was closely tied to the growth of trade and commerce. Wealthy merchants became prominent patrons of the arts, commissioning works from artists and supporting cultural institutions. Their patronage provided financial support for artists, allowing them to create their masterpieces and contribute to the cultural achievements of the Renaissance. The merchant class also played a significant role in shaping the economic and political landscape of the period, influencing the development of city-states and their governance. Banking and financial innovations. The Renaissance was also marked by significant advancements in banking and financial practices. The development of banking institutions and financial innovations played a crucial role in supporting the economic growth and cultural activities of the period. The Medici Bank, established by Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici in the early 15th century, became one of the most influential financial institutions of the Renaissance. The bank's success was based on its ability to provide a wide range of financial services, including loans, currency exchange, and investment management. The wealth and influence of the Medici family were largely derived from their banking operations, enabling them to become major patrons of the arts and supporters of cultural activities. Financial innovations. The Renaissance saw the development of new financial practices and instruments, including the use of bills of exchange, letters of credit, and double-entry bookkeeping. These innovations facilitated international trade and commerce, providing merchants with the tools to manage their financial transactions more efficiently. The growth of banking and financial services contributed to the overall economic prosperity of the period, supporting the cultural and intellectual activities of the Renaissance. Education and literacy. The emphasis on humanism and the revival of classical learning during the Renaissance led to significant advancements in education and literacy. The establishment of humanist schools and universities promoted the study of the humanities and the development of well-rounded individuals. Humanist education emphasized the study of classical texts and the development of skills in grammar, rhetoric, poetry, history, and moral philosophy. Humanist scholars believed that the study of the humanities could cultivate virtuous and knowledgeable individuals who could contribute to society. The curriculum of Renaissance education reflected these values, focusing on the classical ideal of a broad and balanced education. The spread of literacy. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg played a crucial role in the spread of literacy and education. The printing press revolutionized the production and dissemination of books, making written works more accessible and affordable. The increased availability of printed materials allowed for the wider dissemination of knowledge and ideas, contributing to the rapid growth of literacy and education. The spread of humanist ideas and texts was facilitated by the printing press, promoting the values of the Renaissance across Europe. Social mobility and the changing social structure. The Renaissance brought about significant changes in the social structure of European society. The rise of the merchant class and the growth of urban centers provided new opportunities for social mobility and economic advancement. The decline of feudalism and the rise of city-states created an environment where individuals could achieve success based on their talents and achievements rather than their birth. The increasing importance of trade, commerce, and banking provided new avenues for economic advancement and social mobility. Wealthy merchants and bankers, who were often of humble origins, could rise to positions of influence and power through their economic success. The role of women. The Renaissance also saw changes in the roles and opportunities available to women. While the period was still characterized by significant gender inequalities, some women were able to achieve recognition and success in fields such as literature, art and scholarship. Figures such as Isabella d'Este, a prominent patron of the arts, and Sophonisba Anguissa, a renowned painter, exemplify the achievements of women during the Renaissance. The increasing emphasis on education and literacy also provided new opportunities for women to engage with intellectual and cultural pursuits. Cultural exchange and the influence of the Renaissance. The Renaissance was a period of significant cultural exchange, facilitated by the growth of trade and commerce and the movement of artists, scholars, and ideas across Europe. Key figures of the Renaissance. 1. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519. Role: artist, scientist, and inventor. Contribution. Artistic masterpieces. Leonardo da Vinci is perhaps best known for his iconic paintings such as The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. These works are celebrated for their intricate detail, emotional depth, and innovative use of sfumato, a technique of blending colors and tones to create a soft, smoky effect. Scientific studies. Leonardo's notebooks contain extensive studies of anatomy, botany, physics, and engineering. His anatomical drawings, based on dissections of human bodies, provided some of the most accurate depictions of the human form of his time. Inventions. Leonardo designed numerous machines and devices, including flying machines, military weapons, and hydraulic systems. His inventive genius and ability to apply scientific principles to practical problems exemplify the Renaissance spirit of inquiry and innovation. 2. Michelangelo Buonarroti, 1475 to 1564. Role: sculptor, painter, and architect. Contribution. Sculptural works. Michelangelo is renowned for his sculptures David and Pieta, which showcase his mastery of human anatomy and his ability to convey emotion and movement through marble. Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo's frescoes on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican are considered some of the greatest achievements in the history of art. The central panel, The Creation of Adam, is particularly famous for its depiction of God giving life to Adam. Architectural contributions. Michelangelo also made significant contributions to architecture, including the design of the dome of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. His architectural works reflect his innovative approach and his deep understanding of classical principles. 3. Raphael Sanzio, 1483 to 1520. Role: painter and architect. Contribution. Harmonious compositions. Raphael is known for his harmonious and balanced compositions, as seen in works such as the School of Athens and numerous Madonna paintings. His ability to capture serene and idealized beauty made his art highly influential. The School of Athens. This fresco, located in the Vatican's Apostolic Palace, is a masterpiece of Renaissance art. It depicts an assembly of great philosophers and scientists of antiquity, symbolizing the harmony between classical wisdom and Renaissance humanism. Architectural work. Raphael also contributed to architecture, working on projects such as the design of St. Peter's Basilica and the Villa Madama in Rome. His architectural designs reflect his commitment to classical ideals and his innovative approach to space and form. 4. Niccolò Machiavelli, 1469 to 1527. Role: political philosopher and writer. Contribution: The Prince, Machiavelli's most famous work. The Prince is a treatise on political power and strategy. It offers pragmatic advice to rulers on how to maintain power and control, often advocating for cunning and ruthless tactics. The work has been both highly influential and controversial, leading to the term Machiavellian to describe political deceit and manipulation. Political thought: Machiavelli's writings on politics, history, and military strategy contributed to the development of modern political science. His emphasis on realpolitik and the pragmatic exercise of power had a lasting impact on political theory. 5. Johannes Gutenberg, circa 1400 to 1468. Role: inventor and printer. Contribution: The printing press. Gutenberg's invention of the movable type printing press revolutionized the production and dissemination of books. His press allowed for the mass production of written materials, making books more accessible and affordable. Gutenberg Bible. The first major book printed using Gutenberg's press was the Gutenberg Bible, a landmark in the history of printing. This invention facilitated the spread of knowledge, literacy, and the ideas of the Renaissance across Europe. Cultural impact: the printing press played a crucial role in the dissemination of humanist literature, scientific discoveries, and religious texts. It enabled the rapid spread of new ideas and contributed to the intellectual and cultural transformations of the Renaissance.